Where Ethiopia is today, it is because of the poison of the tribalism roots that were implemented a long time ago. This is the journey to one Africa. Hey everybody, welcome back to SNOA. This is Mika. Let's get right into it. I just want to take this moment to remind all of y'all to subscribe to this channel. But most importantly, please join membership. Membership is the way that you show commitment to support what we do here at Swahili Nation. What we do right here is very important, especially for the future of our children and the next generation. We need your support and we need your help. So if you sign up for membership, that means you're pledging your commitment to support us monthly. But also you can use Patreon. The link is down in the description. You can use PayPal if you don't want to be committed every single month. Sometimes you can use Super Chat, Super Sticker, Super Thanks, and whatever that you can. It will be amazing. You can also like this video, share with somebody. It is very important to raise awareness and to spread this information about this beautiful continent. So today I want to talk about Ethiopia. But in order for me to draw the line and to address my thoughts and my heart about Ethiopia, I need also to talk about Rwanda and what I learned from Rwanda. So why Ethiopia? Ethiopia because first of all, first time when I started this mission, when I started this movement, I actually launched One Africa movement in Ethiopia. This is the very first country in Africa that I visited apart from my own country. I went there within a single year. I went there like 4 times, and I received a lot of love, a lot of support. And every time that I don't talk about Ethiopia, I get a lot of messages, a lot of DMs, a lot of requests, a lot of emails as well to talk about it, because the nature of this beautiful and great country of Ethiopia is that it's always in tension. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have a tension today and it will end. And the next month you'll have another tension. So there's always breaking news in Ethiopia. And sadly, I would say not always a good news that is happening there. So all the time you find people, crying, people feeling hopeless and helpless about the situation that is happening in the ground. And, through different researches that I've done and my friends that I've spoken to for a couple of years right now, I'll say like 3 years, right? I came to realize, and visiting there a couple of times, I came to realize that the root of the issues and the problems that are happening in this great country is tribalism, is tribes. In Ethiopia, if you're not aware, different regions are divided according to their tribes, and therefore it's very difficult to actually talk and to really ignore about tribes in Ethiopia. If you go to Addis Ababa, things are a little bit different. All kind of people, all kind of tribes are living together. There's not much tension there, and you could see that it's very peaceful and it's wonderful, it's beautiful. But when you go deep, inside different regions, then you'll find there's this issue. And I think the way for us to solve this, the way for us to put to an end of this madness that is happening, not only in Ethiopia, but in some parts of Africa as well, we first and foremost need to talk about it, talk about the issues that we're facing, and we need to figure out the solution. So my purpose of me being here today, I have 2 or 3 things that I want to talk about. The first thing, I want to remind Ethiopia, all my brothers and sisters across the world, I want to remind you who you really are, because I always talk about these 5 questions that I learned from Maris Monroe that will really transform the entire being of your life. And this 5th question is who are you, your identity. And when you look at Ethiopia and we're talking about who is Ethiopia, you realize that back in the days, even before this continent were called Africa, you have this ocean of the Mediterranean Ocean, this side of Ghana, this side of like the western side of Africa, this Mediterranean Sea, it used to be called Ethiopian Ocean. So basically there's different theory and different people, theologists, who say that this continent, it was once called Ethiopia. If you read in the books, for example, in the Bible, you'll see you see Cush, you see Cush, you see Ethiopia, you see Ethiopia. This is a very old country that it has been there for many years. When you talk about Christianity, a lot of Pan-Africanists are arguing about this. You know, just the fact that you're Pan-Africanist, you know, you're not supposed to believe in Christ or in God, or in Jesus. You know, a lot of time we have these debates, but I'm different kind of Pan-Africanist because I don't really like labeling myself. I'm different kind of that because I believe in Christ, I love Christ, and also love this continent. Both of them is possible. You know what I'm saying? But what we don't realize that Christianity that we talk about in the continent today, and most of us, we think that Christianity was brought in the continent by colonizers, but you have to know that Christianity was already in the continent even before colonizers brought it here. So colonizers, they brought here their form of Christianity, but Africa already had Christianity even before they were here. And you can talk about Ethiopia, that's where it started. Long away, long before they came here. You can talk about the first human being on earth was found in Ethiopia. You can talk about the coffee, it was first found in Ethiopia. You can talk about the country that were not, the only country in Africa that were not colonized. You can talk about Ethiopia. They fought against Italians not once, not twice, and they won. They had different battles against different countries in the continent and outside the continent, and they won. So this is very, historically, this is very important country in the history of Africa, heritage and pride of Africa. You can talk about the Battle of Adwa, the symbol of black power, not only to Ethiopians, but to Africans. And that's why strategically, Ethiopia has been dismantled for so long time. The Westerners and all the stuff. Why? Because if you break Ethiopia, then you break the entire continent. All of the other countries, you know, their fights. You can talk about OAU, the Organization of African Union. This organization, it was first started right there. Haile Selassie, Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Kenyatta, and so many other founding fathers. That's why Ethiopia, strategically, it is the capital city of Africa. That's where the headquarters of African Union is. The organization that is supposed to be fighting for the unity of Africa is there in Ethiopia. Can talk about the richness of culture in Ethiopia. The culture in Ethiopia is crazy. It's amazing. It is because it's not diluted by the Western culture. It's purely African culture. If you want to experience that, something that is not mixed up with anything, go there. If you want to talk about the banks, in Ethiopia, you can never find foreign bank in Ethiopia because the system is really individualistic. The land is owned by the government of Ethiopia. Ethiopia, I would say, is one of the richest countries in Africa. Not necessarily because of the resources, because when you talk about the resources, you can talk about Congo. But in Ethiopia, the land, the buildings, everything are owned by the government of Ethiopia. What does that say? It says that Ethiopia really managed to keep everything by themselves. Yes, it has some challenges, but I applaud that because we want the system that it will be completely independent. That today, if you decide to cut your support to our countries, yet we'll still move forward because we are not fully depending on you. We can actually move our country by ourselves. Ethiopia, the electricity dam, the biggest dam in Africa that is going to produce electricity, that is not only going to support Ethiopia, but it will go to Kenya, go to other African countries. This country, they did not receive even a single dollar from anyone. The people of Ethiopia came together, contributed to the money to build that dam. This is the country that people always come together. I remember 2 years ago when they started with the No More movement. I remember how Ethiopia came together to fight against the Westerners and they won. This is the country that has always been in the winning side. This is the country that has always strived, that has always shined. This is the country that whenever I went there, I felt proud of being African. You can talk about the food. You can talk about injera. You can talk about tips. You know, you can talk about dorwat, one of my favorite food. Just as I'm talking about this, man, I wish I can eat right now this Ethiopian food, man. You can talk about people. You can talk about the beautiness, the kindness, the hospitality of the people of Ethiopia. This is you can talk about the diversity of the culture. You can talk about the music, one of my favorite things. You can talk about Teddy Afro. You can talk about Rofnan. You can talk about different artists from Ethiopia who are doing crazy things. Their music is amazing. More than 95% of the music from Ethiopia, they talk about Ethiopianism. They talk about Africanism. And then that little percent, perhaps they talk about, you know, love and other stuff and etc. But most majority, they influence. If you meet Ethiopians, these are people who love their country with everything they got. Love their family with everything they got. Dedicating to give anything they can to their country with everything they got. But also, love their tribes with everything they got, to the point that they're willing to kill somebody else who is not coming from their tribe. Oh, okay. The direction of this conversation just changed right now. You did not see that coming. But that's what exactly I'm here today to talk about that. A couple months ago, I released a video here on YouTube channel and all other social media called Trap Your Tribe. Why? It just came from Rwanda. Rwanda in 1994, the genocide against the Tutsi happened. Within 100 years, more than 1 million people, within 100 days, more than 1 million people were killed, brutally killed, brutally tortured. Not men, not women, not children, not anyone. Every single person, house after house, every single person was slain and killed. 100 days, more than 1 million people died. Rwanda, it went all the way to 14 years of age, life expectancy of the people in 1994. There were no healthcare system, no schools, no hospitals, no roads, infrastructure. All of them were destroyed. Country, it was mourning. Country it was completely total chaos, darkness in the country. Guys, think about this again. 100 days, 1 million people. Nobody were there to support. Nobody was there to help. Someone was there feeling the fire on this conflict. Somebody was there feeling the fire of this conflict, turning the people of Rwanda against each other. And they succeeded. Because the people of Rwanda, they were no longer thinking about their values, their traditions, and who they are, but they were thinking about which tribe they're coming from and who is there to take advantage of another tribe. As a result, brothers and sisters turned against each other, killed each other. Some of them, they were neighbors, they were friends, but they were like, okay, we have these guys, they're here, the Tutsi people. They came, they killed them. I went there, I was listening in Kibuka 30, RIP to all the innocent lives that were wasted. We remember you, we cry for you, we cry for your families. I was there listening the stories. I was listening His Excellency Paul Kagame sharing his own stories about his cousin. One of the lady sharing her own story about her husband and children, how they were killed. I was there experiencing, seeing these events, how they happen, simply because of the tribes. We can blame the Westerners, Belgium, France, who came and did nothing, and they were the cause of that conflict. We can blame it, but it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change the fact that our own people turn against each other and kill each other. But that was not the end of the story. In 1998, all the way to 1999 March. His Excellency Paul Kagame and other officials, they came together in one of the region where the state house is right now. I forgot the name a little bit. They came together to talk about why we got here where we got, what went wrong, why we fought with one another, why we killed our own people. How can we move forward as a country? How can we move forward as a nation? What are we going to change? They came up with 3 strategies. The first one, uniting. No longer considering the tribes of the people, but rather uniting as one people of Rwanda. Re-evaluating their values, going back to their values before genocide happened. Look at it, implementing it, different strategies, different initiative that is going to bring the people together once again and to stand as one people to fight against tribalism. Unity. They say in Rwanda, there's only one people, Rwandese people. There's only one language, Kinyarwanda. There's only one people. There's only one country. The second strategy, thinking big, thinking beyond our nationality, our ethnicity, our tribes, our nose, our mouth, our color, our languages, thinking beyond that we can think beyond where we are today. Yes, people are dying. Life expectancy is only 14 years of age, but we can change this. We must think big. We must see where we're going as a country. And where we're going, sky is not the limit. The last strategy, accountability. That everybody who participated in this, they will be held accountable. But if you've been given a position as a leader, you're going to be accountable with whatever you do. You're going to be accountable with the promises you've made. You're going to be accountable with all the decision and everything that happened in your country. You're going to be accountable for that. As a result today, there's no favoritism. Whether you're a leader or not, minister or not, you're going to line in the hospital, you're going to line up in the bank, you're going to go in the traffic jam on the road. No special treatment, because you're a servant of your people. The level of discipline, the level of excellence in that country, I went there 30 years later, man, it's outrageous. And people are no longer dividing one another because of their tribes. They no longer fight against each other because they went through hell in 1994. But fast forward 30 years later today, the life expectancy is more than 69.6 years of age. They're going to 70, and they will go more than that. And you find out most of so-called developed countries, that is their life expectancy. If you go to UK, it's like 70 years. Rwanda is 69.6. Why am I sharing this story and all these strategies? Where Ethiopia is today, it is because of the poison of the tribalism roots that were implemented a long time ago. As a result, tribes against tribes fought, people against people fought, and you have messed up history of killing one another, one tribe against another tribe, against another tribe, against another tribe. As a result, everybody's just waiting for the right time to get there on the regime and to take advantage of other people. We cannot continue to entertain this, because what happened in Rwanda, it can happen to Ethiopia. Perhaps it's already happening perhaps it has been happening in Ethiopia. If we cannot turn back, look at where we came from, thinking, where do we want our country to be? Where do we want our children to be in the next 30 years? Where do we want this country to be? Do we want to continue to fight and killing one another based on our tribes? Or do we want to stand tall and proclaim that this is one country, this is one people, this is one nation, and this is one Ethiopia? I went to Zambia right before I went to Rwanda. Right when you move out of the airport, you see this huge banner showing Kenneth Kaunda and all other presidents of Zambia, past and the current one. That banner written, one nation, one people. That is the slogan of the country. One nation, one people. Tell me, when are you going to find this country divided? Do you hear any rumors of Zambia being divided or people killing one another because of tribalism? There might be a little tension here and there, but that will never happen because the message of the country is about one country, one people, one nation. This is the message of the country that we need for Ethiopia. And not that I'm Amhara, not that I'm Oromia, not that I'm Tigrinya, not that I'm different because there's 80-something, tribes in Ethiopia. But if we keep promoting tribes, if we are not willing to drop our tribes, I'm telling you, there is no future for Ethiopia and there will be no solution to Ethiopia's conflicts. And this, guys, let me say this loud and clear. Hear me out, because I know you're looking someone to blame. If you're looking someone to blame, basically what you're saying is that there's nothing wrong with me, but all wrong with you. And that's not how you solve a problem. You don't look for someone to blame. You don't look for someone to blame. No, you look for someone to find solution with. How did we get here? Because I'm telling you, the issues in Ethiopia are not just because of the leaders, are not just because of the people, but it is because of Ethiopians. It's because of Ethiopians. Don't you see that? That if every single of us will take that initiative of Rwanda, be accountable and responsible that yes, I am an Ethiopian. Before Amhara, before Oromia, before Tigray, I am an Ethiopian. I'm sorry because I'm not mentioning all the tribes, but I know there's so many tribes, guys. I know. I'm sorry for those who are not coming from these 3 tribes. You feel like I'm ignoring you, but I'm not. Then let me rephrase my sentence again. I am an Ethiopian. I am an Ethiopian. You're coming from whatever, northern side, eastern side, western side. You just, I am an Ethiopian. I am an Ethiopian. And this is my country. I am an Ethiopian. Man, I don't know how are you guys going to do with these regions that are divided according to their tribes. I don't know what are you going to do. Because I heard some crazy thing. I don't know if it's true that sometimes if you're not coming from that tribe, if you cross that region, it's illegal. Those people from that region, they can do anything they want to do to you. If you cross by, you go on there. And we have seen a lot of death like that in Ethiopia. Until when are we going to see people dying like that? And let me say this, guys. This is not an attack to the government. This is not an attack to anything. This is an attack to ethnicity. This is an attack to that. Because ethnicity could be poison, it could be a blessing, could be a curse as well. But in the case of Ethiopia, why this is the curse? How did we get here? Let's be responsible, Ethiopians. Let's not shifting blames. Let's not do that. It's not going to help. If Rwanda did that in 1994, I'm telling you, today, Hutus and Tutsis, they were no way they'll be sitting on the same table. No way they'll be eating the same food. No way they'll be speaking the same language. No way they'll be living in the same country. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, they will be kicked out of Rwanda long time ago if they did not take a responsibility. Today, Rwanda, it would have never been there. But today, Rwanda is like nothing. It's like no other African country. I went to Rwanda, man. I don't want to leave this place. I'm looking at the level of organization. I'm looking at discipline. I'm looking at how people organize. I'm looking at how smart, how this country has been turned around. And I'm like, God, glory to you. Because only God can do this. But also it takes people who are committed and they're giving everything they can to bring about change in the country. Ethiopia. It is possible to turn things around, guys. I know this country. I've been to this country. I've read the history of this country. I've spoken to a lot of people. I met a lot of people in Ethiopia. It is possible to turn things around. Most of you don't have issues with another tribes. Most of you don't. But because there's a heavy history on your shoulders, you keep holding on to it and bringing it today. As a result, friends are separating with one another. I hear the stories that Oromia, Amhara people, they don't speak with one another. Even outside of Ethiopia. How did we get here? Things can be turned around. I see your messages. A lot of you telling me that, oh no, man, there's no turning back of Ethiopia. This is over. No, this is it. This is it. There's no turning back. Let me tell you this, man. Shut the heck up. There is turnaround of Ethiopia. And it only takes if you who are listening to me right now take full responsibility, stop blaming others, take full responsibility and see how you can change that. Start prophesying, start speaking, start praying, start proclaiming one Ethiopia, one people, one nation. One Ethiopia, one people, one nation. One Ethiopia, one people, one nation. And I'm telling you, not so long. It's not going to take too long before things they turn around. That should be the message from the politicians. That should be the message from the leaders. That should be the message from the religious leader. That should be the message from celebrities. That should be the message. And you celebrity, let me talk to you celebrities. Some of you even scared of talking about this. It's not about, then why did God give you that platform? Why do you think God gave you that platform? It is because of entertainment. What is that entertainment is going to do to people? Unless if your message is actually synchronized in your entertainment and you preach about the unity. That's why I love Teddy Afro. Because his message has always been that. One Ethiopia. I love him. This guy went even to prison before. Because of this movement. That's why I love him, man. Salute Teddy Afro. Salute. Man, I got to react on one of his songs, man, if there's any new song recently. But anyways, guys, why do you have platform? You have 100,000 followers. You have 1 million followers, and you're not even talking about one Ethiopia. This is not a political issue. No, this is the matter of life and death. When you say one Ethiopia, one people, one nation, it's the life and death. Your kids, I'm telling you, they're going to run away from Ethiopia, and you're not going to have motherland anymore. Africa is our motherland. We must defend, protect at all costs. Don't let nobody divide you. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Don't let nobody promoting your tribe. Yes, your tribe is good. Embrace it, but drop it at the same time because it does not help you. It brings death. It does not help you. Let me ask you this. Where do you think I'm from? Okay, which tribe do you think I'm coming from? In my country, we have 121 tribes. Ain't nobody care about their tribes. Everybody care about nationalism. Everybody care that we are Tanzanians. And I hope you care that you are Ethiopians. Because that is the bigger picture. Look at Rwanda. Learn from it. Kudos to Rwanda for what they've achieved. Now it's the time for Ethiopia to turn things around. And if you're listening to me, you know I'm only speaking this out of love. I love Ethiopia much. I love Ethiopia so much. To tell you guys the truth as it is. It's up to you to take it or leave it. God bless you. The matter of fact, before I run, let me pray a little quick for you guys. God, I want to thank you for Ethiopia. And I want to thank you for this message that I've spoken here today. And I just pray that, God, for those who their hearts are closed and they don't want to hear, they don't want to change. You know the heart of man. You're the one who created it. You're the one who can change it. All those who have lost hope, they feel like there's no help. They feel like help is not coming. I pray that may you embrace them with your love. Most importantly, I pray that they may be open, their eyes and the ears of their spirit, they may be open to see and to hear what you're actually saying to their lives today. Ethiopia of today is not going to be the same tomorrow. And we are going to celebrate the milestone that Ethiopia has been through. I pray for the leaders of Ethiopia. Give them wisdom, give them understanding, to give them the spirit of discernment to discern which direction to go, what decision to make, what to say, what to speak. Bring this country together. I know it takes every single one of Ethiopians to come together and to stand for the country. One Ethiopia, one nation, one people. It takes all of them. And I pray that you give them courage, understanding, and wisdom to defend their country, to defend this continent for the next generation. All the glory and honor and the praise, I return it back to you. In your precious name, Christ, I pray. Amen. God bless you guys.